G'day, mate.
G'day, mate. How you going?
All right. How's your week been? Your fortnight?
My fortnight's been pretty busy. Work's been pretty steady, building up a little bit. Been riding a little bit. I secretly might have found out that our track is open, so I might have gone there. Had a ride, just a little one with my
It doesn't have
daughter.
to be. Doesn't have to be secret if it's a public place, unless you're doing it naked.
With my helmet on, because you always got to look after your head.
Think protection.
Yeah. Need to keep thinking.
That's what we're talking about this week. Big
Oh
boy.
yeah. Well, hang on.
What?
What about you? What about your week? How's your week been?
It's just another week. I've lost track. It's like Groundhog Day here.
Yeah. You still look. Yeah, I mean, we're going to get off the merry-go-round at some stage, hopefully.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's like I'm sitting out front of the supermarket on that little pony, and my mum keeps putting dollar coins in. I just can't get off. It should be a weight limit on one of those things, but anyway. Like that one that, because we're going to talk about road trips. Remember when I was in Bordertown and I was riding that thing in the park and nearly flicked myself off. That was pretty funny.
It could have been pretty dangerous, actually.
It
You
could
should
have
have had
been.
your helmet on.
I should have had my helmet. Next time I will actually put a helmet on to draw even more attention to myself. Because I had my missing tooth too, so I looked even extra special.
Bad enough you had to mug a 5-year-old just to get a seat on that springy thing.
Yeah, well, little bag of lollies. Anyway, I shouldn't say that stuff, but anyway, yeah, cool. So yeah, I'm good. You seem like you're good. So yeah, here we are.
Yeah,
here we are, shooting the shit again.
Shooting the shit. So, what is your favourite road trip location?
Adelaide.
Adelaide.
What about you?
I think just about anywhere. I don't think we've done a road trip that I haven't enjoyed. Some of them have probably been a bit more taxing than others, just what we tried to squeeze in and how little sleep we might have got or whatever. But the heat, like the one at Shepparton, was a big ask. But yeah, they're all been just as enjoyable location-wise. You can go to somewhere as isolated as a Shepparton or a Bathurst, and you still find plenty to do and have heaps of fun on the way to and from.
Yeah, I think Bathurst was probably, no offense, it was kind of the most sort of, wasn't disappointing, but it was kind of like, letting the air out of the balloon, because we'd been to Shep the week before. It was like, so like we went to Shep and that was amazing. World Cup, look, I had that incident with the whole severe dehydration and all that crap because it was like 47 degrees. But to go to Bathurst the following week with all that hype and then a whole town that wasn't even really behind it and the weather and stuff. But look, we stayed in a really cool house. We had heaps of fun. We went to a really cool Mexican restaurant. We got to hang out with the best in the world and probably got into places around the track that we probably shouldn't have been. But hey, yeah, and the road trip, that's always fun. Gary is always a spice of life on road trips, isn't he? And he does those huge stints, like, you know what I mean? Like,
he loves to drive, yeah.
Are you right to take over, Shane? Are you right to take over? You're like, yeah, no problem, mate. I've had plenty of milk. I'm all good. And then, like, when am I swapping? Oh, no, just a little bit longer. Okay, Gary, cool. You're a control freak, and you don't want anybody else to drive.
You don't take it personally. It doesn't even let his wife drive.
No, yeah, I get it. I totally get it. But I think one of the side notes for me on a road trip is when we went to the ACT titles. Was it last year or the year before? I can't remember.
Probably I can't remember either. About 2 years ago, maybe.
2 years ago, and it was you, me, Mon, Gary, Ursula, and Matty Burrows, and we stayed in those crazy tiny little cabins at that caravan park.
And there was a shooting overnight.
Yeah, there was that guy that was shot at the servo, and we thought it was a backfire, and I went to go and get coffee in the morning. and like all this police tape. I'm like, what's going on here, mate? Good old Queanbeyan. Like,
I just realised that's not my first shooting incident. When I went up to Sydney for a race when I was a teenager, I was sitting in the front window of a KFC in Sydney somewhere. I would have no idea where, and the front window got shot out. Yeah,
really?
yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's insane.
Yeah.
Living the gangster life. Look at
Maybe
you.
maybe I'm the target.
Yeah, I'm not too sure why, but hey,
Well, they're connected.
they
By
are
me.
connected. They are connected. Yeah, conspiracy theory. Trying to get assassinated. Yeah,
Uh,
no, yeah. I mean, I think because I suppose we've been to Adelaide so much as a team, and also just as a bunch of mates. Like our first trip over there for Glenn's 40th, which was a really cool trip. We had Rad Dog and Timmy Austin and all that sort of stuff, and we stayed in a weird. Well, the house was actually pretty cool, but it did have its little weird little elements. And Paul Knox out in the bungalow out the back with his spacesuit on, his silver space suit. New Zealand's first astronaut, like, and he rode in it. Like, I just can't believe he rode in it.
yeah, he loves that thing.
Yeah, it's just no wonder he's so skinny. I reckon he just trains in it secretly. Like says he's got a good diet. I reckon he just wears it everywhere.
The thing that stands out about Adelaide though is we've got friends there that we catch up with, um, once or twice a year, maybe at the most. So that kind of adds a new element to it as well. But they've got so many places to go ride apart from the track, and we always tend to add an extra day and try to slip in a few extra locations to ride out rather than just going to the track. So it kind of has a different vibe than going up to Canberra. Although we did find dirt jumps last time we went, going up to Canberra and having a ride.
Yeah,
Generally is just about being at the track. And other locations, it looks like Sydney's going to change for us because they've got Bear Creek, and I've seen a lot of guys ride at Red Hill, and they look like fun places to ride. So I think next time we go to Sydney, we'll forget about the pump tracks that we've tried up there and hit the dirt
yeah,
jump instead.
yeah. We'll get Gemma to show us around, or even Adam Sylvester. They seem to hit up Red Hill a fair bit up there. So, and it does definitely look a heap of fun. But I think even like Adelaide, it kind of like, I know it sounds weird, but it like just kind of nearly feels just like we feel welcome there. It's because we know a few people there now, and we go out for dinner, and we always try and catch up with Ronnie and Trace, who long-term friends of you and I and the guys we hang out with. And City Dirt is always a good fun place to ride, which is in the middle of Adelaide. I mean, pretty much a lot of people know that, but long days at the track and all that sort of stuff. We get there, we set up, we race, and just a little bit of time just to, decompress and have a bit of fun it kind of makes those trips really worth it. Because, 10 hours in a transit van, it is fun, but it's a long time,
Yeah, but that's I've always said that road trips are more about the adventure than they are about the actual destination. So it wouldn't matter really where we're heading, but we always seem to have a bit more of an adventure on the way to Adelaide. There's always stories that just continue to come back and be repeated over and over again.
Yeah, like eating wagon wheel ice creams at 7 a.m. Stupid stuff,
Didn't you drop your pants at the Bordertown sign at one point, and we put stickers all over the sign? And
Yeah, I did do that. Yeah, I did do that. Yeah, I'm not denying, because there's probably photos. But I mean, Amy made us little gift boxes for our first little trip away together, and remember that,
that's
like all
right.
these little
Yeah.
perfectly grouse little quotes, and yeah, no, that was a good trip. And we went to Pump It or whatever it was, that indoor place, Pumped, which is sadly closed.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Pump tracky. It had a bit of an indoor jump vibe. Had the two-man pro start too, which was pretty awesome to get to ride one of those for the first time. I think it was for all of us.
Yeah.
They've pretty much become commonplace since then. But yeah, it was a good day being able to get in there before they officially opened. But it was a shame they've shut down, because we always plan to go back again.
Yeah, we did, and yeah, I think Timmy was pretty happy because he asked to buy beer and he goes, we can't sell you beer, but we can give you beer. And Timmy's like, right on. So we were drinking beer infused with mango or something, but it was free.
They
Who
looked after us
cares?
for food as well, didn't they? The
They
cafe
did.
was pretty awesome.
Oh, the food was amazing. Yeah, yeah. It was like restaurant quality. They had a proper chef.
Yeah.
So yeah, and one of our another favourite thing I guess for South Australia, because I mean we seem to be dragging towards South Australia a fair bit, but those the on the run parts of the servos, that whole we always there's an on the run, let's go, and they were always kind of fun to find out what was little mini food court inside a servo,
Yeah.
So fill up the van and even had people walking around with sample trays like, oh, you want to try some noodles? Do you want to try this? It was, and you get pretty decent coffee, which is important for me. So yeah, nah, but Sydney was an interesting one too.
Oh, when we went to what was it? Last year's opening round of the Nationals series, yeah.
Yeah, at the Sydney BMX Club near Homebush there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was interesting seeing the Olympic Village and all those facilities they built for the 2000 Olympics. And yeah, no, it was pretty cool being in that precinct, and then obviously our little escapade out for dinner in that weird such and such bar and grill. So yeah, there's
What do
a
you
good
call it? Lebanese sizzler.
Yeah, I did call it the Lebanese sizzler. Yeah, because I'm all about giving stuff names. But yeah, that was an interesting. Yeah, that was a good trip, and singing the dog on the tucker box 9 miles from Gundagai because we were so tired. We'd raced on the Sunday, packed up, and we were on the road by 2 o'clock. And yeah, that's how we roll, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we were like overtired. Glenn had drunk 800 Vs, and yeah.
I forgot all about that, singing those Aussie classic songs on the way home. But I didn't forget. Gary and I were serenading you, and I think we were singing "Keep Away from Runaround Shaun" on the way to Bathurst.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you picked on me on that whole trip. It was like I was all by myself in the back, and you just because you guys were in the front all the time. And yeah, but anyway, no, that was a cool trip. It was a cool trip up and that, and it was kind of a bit perilous too with the whole bushfires and I guess then they had those massive amount of rain, which was kind of it was a bit ironic too. Bushfires in one part of the country and insane rain the next, and then we had our beautiful Airbnb host knocking on our window every bloody morning, wanting to have a chat. Here I bought you some bread, and I bought you some milk, and and
yeah, a little intrusive.
and and taking the red van, the red rocket around the Bathurst track, the race car track, which Bathurst is famous for, and yeah, no, that like I said, those World Cups are pretty awesome to see and be kind of a part of, and see some stuff that we don't see too much of, and seeing the wider BMX family. Good to catch up with people we don't get to, and I guess that's part of the road trips. We're just catching up with all our BMX family all over the country, and I mean even when we went to Sleeman for the Aussies, what is it, 3 years ago, I think, maybe 4. Yeah. And that was the profile team's first official launch race and all that sort of stuff. So that was pretty crazy. Me, Gary, and Glenn flew up like rock stars, and you had to drive the support vehicle. But that was a trip within itself anyway, wasn't it, with Ripley and Earth?
Yeah, it was the first long trip in the on the open road. It took 2 days. It was eventful, yeah.
We'll leave it at that, brother. We'll leave it at that, just in case the wife rewatches this or something. So yeah, it was a fun trip. It really was. But yeah,
it was.
It was good. No, and we stayed in a pretty funky little house. Wasn't it Dwayne Prass's house? Yeah. And he was nice of us to let us stay there and in a nice part of the world there. And yeah, that the facility at Sleeman is pretty insane. Pretty top. That was actually good Aussies vibe wise, and facility-wise and all that sort of stuff. Plenty of food vans to eat from and pro shops. And, yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, I didn't race, obviously, because, I'm not too sure what was going on with me. Who knows? Maybe I was injured or something. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows with me? But I was there for moral support.
It was, just another good race. It was quite an adventure because of the amount of time we'd spent away, and it was our first setup. We had a pretty impressive tent spot with the whole ECI crew. It wasn't just Profile; it was
Chase.
everyone. Yeah, Chase, Answer, Squared, and was sitting right next door to the National High Performance Squad, weren't we?
We certainly were. And
got a bit of an insight as to how they operate.
Yeah, and even Anthony Dean asked me to mind his bike for him.
That's right. The last person I'd trust with my bike.
hey, and we even put it. Oh, come on, mate! I didn't ride it. Well, I'm saying that on camera anyway. But and we even put it in the weigh-off competition that we had.
That's right.
Yeah, and we're pretty impressed with it. But yeah, watch my bike for me. No problem. Yeah, no, and that's that's the sort of like you say, road trips. They get entrenched with memories, and then you go, oh yeah, when we went to Adelaide that time, and then this opens the floodgates of good memories. So I guess you're right. You mentioned road trip, Adelaide, boom. You just think of all the stuff. Road trip, ACT, boom. It's really cool.
It's funny. I remember mostly where we stay on each of the trips, but then all of the things we do along the way kind of get a bit mixed up. Like that time you jumped into the canola field and did your little spring out of the flowers.
Look, I was sleep deprived, and no, that's the thing. You just got to try and spice it up. And me, I love to make people laugh, and if you can't laugh with me, just laugh at me, sort of thing.
It's not as bad as poor old Glenn, who I think every memory he'd have, he would have been injured at some point. He has some bad luck over there.
He does, and I think last year when we went to the Cove, he was a little bit on tender hooks because it was like the National Series hoodoo, and I remember he got through the first day and he was super stoked because obviously the year before he broke a rib, cracked a rib, and slightly punctured his lung in a crash on the first day.
Doing moose calls all night.
Yeah, and yeah. Oh, yeah. Look, and credit to him though, and you'll back me on this. Like, he is one tough bugger.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah, no, you guys will stay. And like, he was in so much pain. We had to like prop him up at night, and we had to bathe him, and give him sponge bath. No, not really, but like there was no sponge bath. No, but like
it wasn't until the next day that he went to the hospital. When we're on our way to the track, we dropped him off at the hospital.
We just didn't even stop. We just opened the sliding door. Just go and get yourself fixed, mate, and we'll meet you at the track. But yeah, and then the trip on the way home, and I think he was, by the time we hit Ararat, I just remember he was in just an insane. So mega props to Glenn because when you were prepared to sort of say, okay, we'll pull the pin, because I mean he's injured, and it's not like, and we'll pack up and head home. And he's like, no, I'm not having you guys do that for me, So he's slightly stubborn, but like he's extremely tough, and we still ended up having a good time. That house was
at the same time, he only completed one, maybe two motos. Didn't race the last moto. I think he must have crashed in the second one, and qualified for the final still. And
that's right. Yeah.
So not only did he crash hard, he rode hard when he got to go around.
Oh yeah, like we know he's tidy on a bike. And he makes it look easy. And that was the thing. Like you say, all these little Airbnbs that we stay in, and I've kind of videoed every house that we've stayed in. Like I've done a little walkthrough and taken videos. Is that
while everyone's sleeping?
That is why. No, that's when, yes. Or when we first get there. And, I remember I was sliding through the exposed wall in that house, trying to get through the frame of the wall they tried to take out. and the heater bolted to the ceiling, pretending to be an IETEL-tastic bathroom heater. So yeah, and
Were all those bed mattresses on the floor? There was no bed bases, were there? Maybe
the
in
so
Gary's room.
Gary had a double bed.
On a
Paul had
base.
it. No, it was on a base. So Paul was in the first little room. He had a single bed. I had a single bed. Then it went blow up mattress, and then there was a double mattress on the floor which you slept on, and then Glenn chose to sleep on the couch because he always ends up on the couch. He's like the couch dweller. It's like he's been naughty and he's been kicked out on the couch. But there could be a perfectly good bed. No. I'll just sleep on the couch. But in Sydney, and he did sleep in the top bunk.
Yeah, that was by design, though. The top bunk was better than sleeping in a room with me where I was snoring my ass off.
And your nose. Yes, and we did share a room at Bathurst, you and and I was fearful. I'm like, I am going to get no sleep. The curtains are moving when he's snoring. I'm like, yeah, I was. But you did well. You only snored for about an hour each night, you know. But yeah, you make the curtains move. That's how bad you snore. Yeah.
You've
So
always
anyway,
made my curtains move.
I know, right? Piggy boo. But yeah, we've had some good times, 100%. And look, I guess when I was younger, road trips were more with family, and you kind of had to behave yourself. I mean, I did go to an Aussie titles with Ronnie Stevens and Justin Stevens to South Lake, I think, which was
89.
89. Yeah, race 17 expert or 17 plus open, I think. And I think I had 132 riders in that class. And I think Tim Ward smashed that class in cruiser and 20 inch. So well done, Timmy. I still remember. But yeah, and that was a pretty cool road trip. We stayed in a hotel and swam in the pool because I think there was like 2.5 hours between motos, and we went to the beach and I lost my pants. I tried to body surf and my pants got sucked off, and like my shorts had no shorts. So I had to come back to the track with just a fucking towel on. And yeah, so just crazy stuff like that. Trying to show off at the girls at the beach and stand up with absolutely nothing on. Yeah.
There was a guy with a portable trailer who had it full of Vans shoes, I remember, at the 89 Nationals. Don't know who it
And
was, just truckloads of Vans shoes.
I
Do you
actually
remember that?
bought, I do. I remember buying my first set of Vans. I know we're going off track, but this is all part of road trips. I remember buying my first 2 sets of Vans off David Smart at that race meeting because he had a boot full of Vans. And I bought two pairs of slip-on Vans from him because I think he had just come back from the States because he
Yeah.
was always going backwards and forwards there, and bought back these, because I mean, buying Vans in Australia was a pretty hard thing.
Impossible. Yeah.
Impossible. They were as rare as rock and horse shit. So when you got some, you were like, this is amazing. But that was also an integral part of, I think just road trips in general. I think you kind of BMX and road trips go hand in hand because we all have to travel sometimes really far, for Aussies and stuff like that. And it's a big melting pot. You all catch up with people you probably don't see for a year, and then you just catch up and you have fun. And then once racing's done, you'll hang out and barbecue or go out to Sizzler or whatever back in the day. And yeah, no, it's good times. And I think it's, that's what makes people, I think, stay in the sport too, is that whole sense of family. And, the traveling is, like I say, it's addictive.
Seems to be that you don't end up just hanging out with the people that you travel with either. We usually catch up with other people when we get there and go out to dinner and sort of mix it up as well. So, everyone in the sport, doesn't matter where you're from, if you race against them or not, they're quite welcoming, or nearly everyone.
Yeah, yeah. I think even, in the last few years, I think we've as with all our traveling, we've made some really good new friends or, new people that we hang out with and, sort of even communicate now on a regular basis. It's kind of been really cool just to sort of broaden our friendship network.
Mm.
And and if they come to Victoria for whatever, it's always, hey, come and hang out with us, or come and stay, or we'll go riding here. Where you staying? So yeah, it's good too, and then they'll be on teams, and like I say, we might have to race them, but once we sort of off the track, it's been good, and I just can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, it might be a while for us, I think, but and the next road trip might not even be a race trip. It might just be to get away and you know um, dust off the cobwebs and just have a bit of fun.
Oh, 100%. And I think a lot of people, that's what they're kind of looking for, just a little bit of normality. But yeah, I think it's just good for the soul. I mean, we only get we get one lap on the one lap, well, not one lap, but we get one crack on the planet, and you just got to have some fun, you know. So, and then, yeah, like you say, we've got these memories, and here we are talking on our YouTube channel about good memories and good times. And look, we're not exactly young kids. We're a bit further down the age chain. So, and we're still having heaps of fun. And I think that could be, it's a little bit of the old fountain of the youth sort of thing.
I
Think
don't know
young,
about
stay
that.
young.
I don't know about that. I still feel old, but it's good to not have to worry about stuff for a weekend or a few days.
Oh, well, I know you if you're getting old, because when you get up out of bed, you start making noises. That's kind of when that hurts. You're old. But look, we still get up. I mean, like Glenn. I mean, like you, with when you had your lung issues, you still got out and raced and still gave it 100% and still did really well. So, I think we have young souls, or young at heart, or whatever you want to call it, and that kind of helps, I think.
Worth hanging on to, even if it's not actually 100% true.
Yeah, I keep kidding myself every day, man.
I went
I got
for a
to.
I went for a ride the other week, thinking I could do what I did 6 months ago, right up to a lookout up here. I think it's about a 7.5K ride, except it's in a national park, so the entrance to the national park's closed. So you just ride up to the entrance, which is exactly 5 kilometers away, and ride back. I had to stop twice on the ride back, and I've never had to stop before. Just a fitness thing, and I realised that it's going to take me a while to get that fitness back before I really hit the track again. But no hurry. I'm still going to have the same fun with the same guys, and meet more people and do more road trips. I think I'm still going to be kicking around the BMX circuit for a lot longer to come. I always said that once my knees gave out, I'd give it away, but I think just about everything but my knees given out so far.
Well, there's something in that. Then maybe your knees are hanging on because they don't want you to give up.
Maybe
You
that's
know,
how I get so many road trips in.
yeah. And I mean, I've done that lookout ride with you, and that, even when we were fit, that killed me. That was that because we rode all the way up, obviously, and that was just such a steep climb. And I think I was on one of your bikes, which probably made it even harder. Your massive long cranks and your handlebars this wide, and no, not really, but yeah, I think I was actually riding one of your bikes, and yeah, that was a crazy ride. So yeah, I definitely know what you mean. Like I said, I went for a ride at the track the other day. I was actually surprised I could actually jump. I was like, I don't know if I want to jump, but I did, and it didn't feel too bad. So I was pretty happy with that, because nothing like jumping. But yeah, I mean, Gary is pretty keen to come on a road trip with us too. He can't always come with us because of he's running his own business and stuff, but he always seems to have a lot of fun with us.
Yeah, he's actually pimping out the van right now, so he's hoping to finish that as soon as possible. I think his priority is he's hoping that we get released into the wild again and he can go fishing again. So he's trying to get it all finished before he's able to go fishing again. So I think he's got
Yeah.
another week, but we're going to have like big television and a lot more comfort. There's going to be a fridge, all that sort of stuff. So
Oh, awesome.
going to be different
Yeah. That would be
speakers in the
really
back.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, to drone out my voice. Like, oh,
I
it'd be
think
cool.
there's I think he's even installing a solar-powered fan in the back to try and get some airflow through there. There's been some real stale drives in the back seat.
It does get warm in the back there for sure. But, look, it'd be cool. You could watch, BMX racing while you're, if there was a World Cup on or the World Titles or whatever, you could probably sit in there and, Chromecast or whatever you do with smart TVs these days. And, yeah, that'd be a cool road trip. Or even maybe possibly watch some of our racing in the van, like professionals. Because we're so young. All those groovy Instagram edits that we do. No, I mean, we do make some good edits with our road trips, I must admit. It's a lot of fun doing too, making little stories and trying to share the love with people that we know and showing that, we do have a lot of fun, and we just, try and make some people laugh and say, oh, those guys are having a blast, I do enjoy spreading the love like that, just to, show that you can have fun, and it's all, we don't take ourselves too seriously, even though we do ride for a team.
Even the ice cream reviews go down pretty well.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. And that massive, I didn't even know what it was. It was some like triple egg and bacon sausage McMuffin thing that I got at some McDonald's somewhere on the freeway. And it's like, I think I was still eating it for like 3 days. It was just like concrete in my guts. It was insane. But you always go mad when we cross the border into South Australia or even New South, I guess. Chocolate milk, boom. It's like the whole state goes, oh, Shane's here. Hide the chocolate milk. Well, you came back with like two liter bottles of what do you call it? Chocolate milk. But it is good.
Remember that time I sat down and drank a 2-litre bottle while we were all sitting around talking around the table? I think I nearly made myself sick.
Yeah. I do remember that. I do. But where the hell did that go? It's in here. Well, one like funny story. One of our first kind of road trips a long, long time ago, you and me drove to the Aussies in Mount Gambier, 2012, in the Ford Faux or Ford Focus, the Silver Bullet, whatever you wanted to call it, the faux bus. And we drove, and we were really hungry. Every place we stopped had no food or it was bad food, and we just kept pushing through. We got to Mount Gambier at 11 o'clock or something at night. We went to Macca's. Now, there was a period in your life where, you kind of weren't eating too much meat. You were trying to be a good boy for the wife, looking after your bod, all that sort of stuff. And you bought yourself an Angus burger. You bought an Angus burger. And my gosh.
Made my guts very angry.
For like a whole week. For a whole week, like all I heard is gurgle, 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 gurgle. Because we were sharing a room like we always do. And all I could hear was your stomach going, help me, help me, I've had meat.
Because of that, I only ever eat Toasties if I have to eat from McDonald's now.
Yeah, that's okay. I understand, because that was, I've never heard
nightmare.
It was that your tummy was not happy at all. But yeah, that was Nick and
Nick and Michelle Brooks.
Yeah, that's right. They were cool for letting us stay there, and super hospitable. Showed us around, took us out for tea a couple of times. Their house was beautiful. I remember, and that was
And they live just up the road from the track.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And that track was it was in really, really good condition, but it was a little bit wet. But it's as Mount Gambier goes, it always gets quicker when it's wet. And I think your tummy might have let you down that weekend. I think you were a bit lackluster.
Well, I wasn't really planning on racing that weekend. I thought, well, screw it. We're going across there anyway. I may as well enter. And I was pretty unprepared, and I might have not taken the race particularly seriously in the first moto and missed out by a narrow margin of qualifying through. But live and learn.
I do remember that you were,
I think you said something about you're not in the strider class as I was striding past you.
That does sound like something I would say to you. I'm
gonna have to cut it off, mate. It's getting late.
That's all right, mate. Yeah, look. Yeah. I'm supposed to be going out clubbing, so yeah. In your
Seals.
dreams,
Seals.
Mr. Collins. Hey, seals. Yeah,
Club
no.
and seals.
Yeah, in your dreams, Mr. Collins. In your dreams.
All right, mate. Thanks for shooting the shit again, and catch up again soon.
So everybody out there, please give us a like, subscribe to me and Shane, obviously on BMX Ultra and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, please like. Hey, Ripples.
Say hello.
Hey, Ripples. Say to all the fans out there, hello.
Say hello.
Subscribe. Tell
Say
everybody to subscribe.
subscribe.
Thanks, Ripples. All right, mate. Be safe. Catch up with you soon. And yeah, ciao. Bye, Ripples.
Say, mate.